video, we're going to do a few of those problems from the worksheet we have in class. The first one we're going to do is number 2. It says h of x is the square root of 4 plus 3 times f of x. And f of 1 is 7, f prime of 1 is 4, and we're asked to find h prime of 1. So the first thing we need to do is differentiate h of x with respect to x using the chain rule. So we have an outside function, the square root function, and an inside function, 4 plus 3f of x. So to get h prime of x, we first differentiate the square root, which is 1 over 2 times the square root of the inside. So this is the derivative of the outside function with respect to the inside. So we don't change the inside at all. But then we multiply that by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of 4 is 0, and then the derivative of 3 times f of x is just 3 times f prime of x. So that's the chain rule. Now, if we want to find h prime of 1, we have to plug in 1 for all the x's. So h prime of 1 is 1 over 2 times the square root of 4 plus 3 times f of 1 times 3 times f prime of 1. And now we use the information that was given in the problem. So for f of 1, we're going to plug in 7. And then for f prime of 1, we can use 4. And so now when we simplify, we get 1 over 2 square root of 25 times 12, which is 6 over 5. All right, so that's using the chain rule and a few given values of some of the things that we needed to use to evaluate the derivative. All right, let's look at problem number 3. This is another graphical example of the chain rule. So this one says g of x is the function square root of f of x, and the graph of f is shown in this picture. And we are asked to find g prime of 3. So once again, we're going to have to differentiate g using the chain rule, because g is a composite. It's the square root of another function. The outside is the square root function, the inside is f of x. So differentiating using the chain rule, we get the derivative of the outside, which is 1 over 2 times the square root of the inside, and we don't change the inside. And then we multiply that by the derivative of the inside, so that's just f prime of x. And now we want to get g prime of 3, so we just replace all our x's with 3. So g prime of 3 is 1 over 2 times the square root of f of 3 times f prime of 3. Now we have to look at our graph. So first we need to find f of 3. F is the pink curve. So we locate the number x equals 3 on the x-axis, and then find the y-coordinate that goes with that point, and it's 2. So f of 3 is going to be 2. And then we need f prime of 3. So lucky for us, the tangent line is already drawn for us at the point x equals 3. So all we need is the slope of that tangent line. The slope of that blue line. That blue line is the tangent line at x equals 3, so f prime of 3 is just the slope of that line. The slope of that line we can get by looking for the change in y and the change in x. The change in x is positive 3, the change in y is negative 2. So we get negative 2/3 for the slope. That's f prime of 3. All right, so now we can plug those numbers in. So g prime of 3 is 1 over 2 times the square root of 2 times negative 2/3. Simplifying that, I just get negative 1 over 3 square root of 2. And if I need to rationalize my denominator, I just multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. And my final answer is negative square root of 2 over 6. All right, that's enough for this video. I'll see you in the next one.